protecting Main Street from Wall Street. It's Chris Hoffman with Money Unleashed.
How much money do you put into your checking account from work on a month-to-month basis? It has a high probability that with your investable assets, we can replace that paycheck.
It's time to put you back in control of your money.
You've worked for 35 years. It's time for you to not stress. It's time for you to enjoy and live the retirement you want to live.
It's Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman.
Welcome into the Money Unleashed podcast with Chris Hoffman. We've got a great discussion for you today, and we appreciate you checking out the show. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Now, I heard a quote a while back that got me thinking about the importance of planning, because it's not about having a single plan geared towards just one particular desired outcome. If plan A doesn't work, there are 25 more letters in the alphabet. So let me boil it down, though. You want a plan for good times and bad, and those plans can obviously vary. Investopedia recently asked a rather important question that we're going to dive into here, Chris. Is your retirement plan crisis-proof? Most aren't. Here's how to check. According to Allianz, 62% of Americans worry about a future national or global crisis that could derail their retirement, but only 46% have actually accounted for those risks in their plan. Now, we're not doomsday preppers, but an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, to throw another quote out there.
It can be. And so that's interesting that 62% of Americans worry of a future national or global crisis. So what would that crisis look like? Well, there are three things off the top of my head that we want to protect our clients from and take advantage of when they happen. And there's two parts to that. It's preventing damage to you financially during these, but it's also being able to take advantage of what's going to go on, which is kind of a major reset in some areas. So the first one, obviously, a national or global crisis could cause the stock market to crash. Think of 2008, 2009, the Great Recession. So you have to have good active management in your portfolio, and you have to have a protection rotation strategy. You have to know where you're going to park those gains when the market starts to get a little bit overheated, or how are you going to lower your standard deviation and take on less risk as the market starts climbing. And those are minor adjustments that over time can really serve you well. So market crashes are something we need to prepare for and build into our plan. Because if you're going to retire and have 30 years, you will see major market corrections. Most likely, you will see 3 of them in your retirement life. So that's extremely important. The other one that comes to mind is hyperinflation. Mm-hmm. When inflation spikes up, and I'm not just talking about the fun type of things, the privileges, but I'm talking about the necessities. I'm talking about food prices spike. The price of oil spikes and gasoline prices spike. Healthcare spikes. Those hyperinflation activities can put a lot of pressure on families because we don't have Medicare doesn't guarantee payment on everything and anything. It's got a bunch of different parts to it that you can buy, but those cost money. So hyperinflation is something we build into our plans as well. We do look for inflation-adjusted and inflation-protected investments that will scale as inflation goes up. And then the third one would be income tax. A lot of folks are highly exposed right now to this nasty world of income taxation. Why? Because your 401k is largely pre-tax, tax-deferred money. It's never been taxed. The government wants it. The government's going to get it. Mm-hmm. Now it's a matter of, are they going to get it at today's income tax levels, or could it go much, much higher? So if I were to throw out a 50% highest marginal tax bracket on federal income tax, if people are saying, 50%, that's never going to happen. Well, it has happened in the past. Yeah. So don't count your chickens before they've hatched. You want to protect yourself against uncontrollable taxation. And that's what income tax is. It is uncontrollable by the individual person. Now, You can control your taxation in a Roth 401k, or you can control it in a Roth IRA, because the answer is that money is tax-free for the rest of your life, and you can pass it on to beneficiaries, and it's tax-free for them. So why are we not biting the bullet? And taxes are historically at low points. Why are we not biting off the tax bill now with our paycheck and depositing that money into taxable accounts and into tax-free investing? So if you're looking at your portfolio and you've got 70%, 80%, 90% of your portfolio in tax-deferred 401k or IRA, you've got to call. And you have to meet with somebody to talk about, okay, how are we going to level out these lakes to make sure that you've got a good body of water in tax-free investing, a good body of water in taxable investing, and still a good body of water in your pre-tax or tax-deferred 401k. Our analysis tells us that you can have approximately $500,000 in your pre-tax, tax-deferred 401k or IRA and potentially never pay taxes on that money in retirement. Wouldn't that be nice? To never pay tax on your 401k. But if you've got more than $1 million in there or more than $2 million or $3 million, the government is hunting for you. I'm not saying they're actively hunting, but it comes up, I'm sure, in every conversation they have about balancing a budget or how are we going to raise the income for the good old United States. Income tax. There are trillions of dollars sitting in pre-tax 401ks. The government wants to lay claim to it. At this income tax rate, I would seriously consider paying that income tax up front and converting it to a Roth IRA or contributing to a Roth 401k. So those are three. Protect against market crashes, protect against hyperinflation, and protect against high income tax payouts in retirement. That would be a good place to start.
It's a great starting point there. So how do we prepare that crisis-ready retirement plan? Well, Investopedia contends that the strongest strategies use three main forms of investment diversification: time horizon, tax treatment, and asset class. I think Chris has talked to all of those already, and it recommends mixing income sources between fixed and variable so you can create income in different buckets and varying market conditions. That I think we talk about every single week here on Money Unleashed.
Yeah, so what they're talking about there is fixed income is things like bonds. They pay you a fixed interest rate, and then when the bond matures, you get your principal back. Or you could invest in equities that have dividends. So you actually buy a portion of a company. They give you shares in the company. You either get growth if the stock goes up or losses if the stock goes down. Until you sell it, those are all unrealized. But while all of that's going on, those companies oftentimes, and some of them consistently over extended periods of times, 25, 30, 35, 45 years, pay strong dividends. And if they are qualified dividends, that falls under the capital gains rate. So that is a locked-in flat tax. So that can be very beneficial in balancing your exposure to income tax, eliminates that, and then also keeping pace with inflationary pressures.
Something else to account for, risk, and it can go overlooked as well, different types of it. So things like inflation, long-term care needs, changes in tax policy, those all have to be accounted for, don't they?
They do. And when I think of risk, the number one risk that I worry about is the stock market risk. Mm-hmm. And here's a very easy way to lower your risk over the next 30 years of investing, folks. Here it is. I'll give it to you. It's a very easy tip. You want to take on more and more and more and more risk when the market is going down, 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 down. And you want to push all of your risk in when everybody else has panicked and they've sold. That's when you take on your maximum amount of risk. When you're looking at the markets and you're going, wow, is it all coming to an end? Is the whole world falling apart? The market's lost 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. That's the time to have your financial plan outlined and have a sit-down conversation with your financial advisor that says, now, today, is the day I want to start to build a more risk plan versus a more conservative plan. Versus when the market is going up, 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 everybody gets euphoric. Everybody has fear of missing out.
Right.
That's the opposite time to add to your risk profile. Be patient, map it out, put it in a financial plan. If you do that, risk becomes something that you can use to beat the market. When the market's going down precipitously, that's when you add risk to your portfolio. When the market is going up and reaching all-time highs, that's when you should de-risk your portfolio. That doesn't mean selling out of everything, and it also doesn't mean when the market takes a 30% hit, you dump everything in, but it's a massaging process.
Using risk to your advantage. That sounds like a conversation worth having so you can determine how exactly you can do that. And the final point, if we want to ensure our financial strategy is resilient, if it is in fact crisis-proof, well, Chris, you got to stress test it. Find those flexible income tools that can protect that plan when life doesn't go to script. And when does life ever go to script?
Yeah, it never does, but we can script it out for you financially. And there are basically 3 steps to do it in its entirety. And this is a pretty robust offer that we would present to you today. The first step is you call us or you go online. So call us at 404-341-6767 or go to unleashyourmoney.com and click that portfolio x-ray button or the 401k x-ray. That'll allow us to do about a 10 to 14 page report. We give it to you. It's free of charge. It assesses exactly what's included in your financial life, all of your investments, gives you a whole bunch of information. From there, if you want us to take step 2 for you, again, completely complimentary, free of charge, we will build you an income plan. The intent there is to replace your paycheck in retirement and keep that income scaling or outscaling inflationary pressures. That income plan also includes tax strategies, which are extremely important for people in today's environment. Then if you want us to take the final step, we can fold all of that into a full financial plan and map it out for the rest of your life or until age 100, and basically then track to it year over year over year. All 3 of those offers, completely free of charge, completely complimentary, but we do all the work behind the scenes while you're living your life or you're going back to work. I would start with that portfolio x-ray. That is the easiest, fastest, and I think the most eye-popping report that we could provide for you. It'll take us a few hours to generate the report. We do all that behind the scenes. We give it to you in a half an hour, 45-minute meeting. Very valuable information for you to have on your ready and take home with you. So call us at 404-341-6767. Again, that's 404-341-6767, or find us on unleashyourmoney.com.
That number again, 404-341-6767 and unleashyourmoney.com online if you want to sign up right there. Chris Hoffman is an investment advisor representative of Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor and affiliate of Brookstone Capital Management, LLC. BWA and Hoffman Financial Group are affiliated under common ownership. Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosures of any conflicts of interest. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV 2A, page 4, for additional information. The Hoffman Financial Group and WSB are not affiliated. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. This information should not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the field of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Any client experiences discussed during the show are unique to that client. They are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Index or fixed annuities are not designed for short-term investments and may be subject to caps, restrictions, fees, and surrender charges as described in the annuity contract. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV2A Item 4, for additional information. Hoffman Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Insurance licensed in Georgia, number 163546.